let me share a quiet truth most men never hear until it's too late. There's a silent game happening all around you right now. It's not loud, not obvious, but it's powerful. It's not played with words or open confessions. It's a dance of glances, a rhythm of small movements, a language written in breath and silence. And here's what most men miss. The signals you're waiting for are already there. They're just not coming in the language you expect. You think attraction announces itself with flirtation or compliments, but real signals are deeper, quiet, instinctive, often unconscious. Over the last 10 years, I've watched these patterns unfold, not from theory or books, but in real moments. Coffee shops, gyms, offices, and across dinner tables, when words fell away and body language spoke louder. And here's what I've learned. There are two subtle patterns that reveal when a woman isn't just interested, but deeply drawn to you, sometimes against her better judgment. She won't admit it. She might not even realize it herself. But her body will tell the story, if you know how to read it. That's why we're here, because right now, there could be someone in your life, a colleague, a friend, maybe that woman you see every Thursday morning at the cafe, and she's sending signals you've been blind to. That ends today. No more walking past hidden opportunities. No more ignoring the language no one ever taught you to understand. Today, I'll give you what I wish I had years ago. The ability to walk into any room and know without a single word who's already drawn to you. Because desire doesn't always speak, but it always shows. In her breath, her posture, in the way she mirrors you without realizing it. Once you recognize these two signs, it'll feel like a veil has lifted, like you've stepped into a secret world that was always there, just unseen, and suddenly, everything will make sense. The cold shoulder? Not rejection, a test. The delayed text? A pullback to measure your strength. The way she mentions another man just as you lean in. Not dismissal, but curiosity cloaked in control. Now, let's decode it, one sign at a time. It's not a trick, it's a trigger, a test to see how you respond. Because this isn't about games or chasing approval. It's about awareness, understanding what's written in biology, not just behaviour. Attraction, at its core, isn't a decision. It's instinct. It's survival. And when you learn to read it, you stop chasing. You start choosing. Welcome to the Stoic spirit, where we don't play for validation. We study the truth beneath behaviour. And today, you're going to learn the first two codes of that truth. If this already resonates, hit subscribe, because every week we uncover the real psychology behind attraction, power, and calm masculine presence. Drop a comment below with the word decode if you're ready to see what others can't even perceive. Because after this, you won't look at women or connection the same way again. Sign 1. The mirror in the silence. Sometimes a woman won't tell you how she feels, but her body will. Not in grand gestures, not in words, but in the stillness, the quiet moments where her rhythm starts to sync with yours. When she's drawn to you on a deeper level, something primal happens. Her biology starts to mirror yours. It's subtle at first, almost invisible. But once you notice it, it's undeniable. She begins to match your tone, your posture, your pace, even your breathing. Not because she's trying to impress you, but because something in her nervous system recognizes safety, strength, and connection. And this isn't just theory. In 2003, researchers from the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology discovered something they called social glue. The more two people unconsciously mirror each other's gestures, expressions, and vocal rhythms, the stronger their bond becomes. Mirroring builds trust. It builds comfort. It builds desire. So when you notice her syncing with you frame by frame, when her energy seems to move in rhythm with yours, that's not coincidence. That's chemistry. That's her subconscious choosing you. Picture this, a quiet cafe. You're sitting across from her. The light is soft, the air still. You lean in slightly to speak, and a few seconds later, she does the same. You touch your chin as you think, and soon after, her fingers brush her cheek. You pause. She pauses. Something invisible is unfolding between you. A rhythm, a reflection. Even the way you blink starts to sync, almost like your bodies are breathing in the same language. This isn't poetry, it's biology, it's resonance. And here's the fascinating truth. The stronger her attraction, the shorter the delay between your movement and hers. So, how do you read it? Start simple. For the first 5 minutes, just observe. Watch her natural gestures, posture, expressions. That's her baseline. Then, make a small change. Lean back, cross your arms, shift your angle, wait a few seconds. Does she adjust too? Next, test something subtler. Scratch your wrist, tilt your head, touch your watch. If she mirrors you soon after, you're not just in a conversation. You're in sync at a subconscious level. But here's what most men overlook. Mirroring isn't one-sided. You can lead or follow. When you match her breathing pattern during a calm exchange, you bypass her logical brain. You communicate through emotion, through instinct. It's like tuning yourself to her frequency. And when you get it right, she feels understood without a single word spoken. Now, there's a powerful twist. Delayed mirroring. Sometimes she'll echo your movements, but 30 to 60 seconds later, that delay doesn't mean disinterest. It means her body feels the connection, but her mind is resisting it. That tension between what she feels and what she allows herself to show reveals everything. Because bodies don't lie. Words can disguise, logic can defend, but the body always tells the truth. Mirroring is that truth, the silent confession of attraction. So, what should you do? Nothing. Don't call it out, don't react. Just observe. Stay calm, stay still, stay grounded. Because the Stoic man never seeks validation. He lets reality reveal itself. He notices what most men overlook. He listens not just with his ears, but with his eyes. Because he knows that sometimes the body speaks the words the soul is too afraid to say. Sign 2. The silent jealousy test. When a woman begins to truly care, she often won't admit it outright. Instead, she'll test it. Not with logic, but with emotion. Not to play games, but to feel safe. To see what kind of man you really are. This test rarely comes with warning. It appears as distance, indifference, or even tension. But underneath it all lies something real. Desire that's uncertain of safety. It's the jealousy trap, and most men fail it. Let's break it down. Phase 1, the subtle retreat. You're having a great time, talking, laughing, and suddenly she drops a line like, "Your friend Sarah seems cool." You two close? Or she sees you chatting with another woman, and her energy changes. Her tone shortens. Her body shifts. She takes a small step back. Most men panic here. They chase. They overcompensate. But what's really happening is instinctual. Her subconscious is reading your reaction, measuring your emotional stability. It's not rejection. It's an invitation to stay grounded. Phase 2, the probe. After the retreat comes the test. She'll say things that sound casual but carry weight. You probably like girls like her, right? She's more your type. These aren't statements. Their questions wearing masks, and how you respond tells her everything. Weak men defend, explain, or reassure. Strong men remain calm, stoic, centered. They might smile and say, "She's cool," or even, "Yeah, she's attractive." Not to provoke, but because they have nothing to prove. That composure, that quiet confidence, speaks louder than any speech ever could. Phase 3. The proximity play. Now it gets interesting. She stands closer to other men when you're around, mentions someone who asked her out, laughs a little louder so you can hear. And then, for just a second, her eyes flick to yours. That glance isn't random. She's watching your energy. She's testing the ground to see, are you the man who stays calm under pressure? Or do you crumble at the first sign of competition? Because in that silence, in that subtle dance of emotion and restraint, she's not looking for dominance. She's looking for security, for proof that your confidence isn't performance, it's presence. Will you break? Will you react with jealousy? Will you lose your composure? Will you become possessive? If you do, she retreats. Because the moment you reveal insecurity, the dynamic shifts. But if you stay calm, if you simply observe with a relaxed smile and no tension in your body, you pass the test. That's when the shift happens. She drifts back toward you, touches your arm, finds a reason to laugh near you again. Re-engages, not because you chased, but because you didn't flinch. That stillness, that quiet self-possession releases more dopamine and oxytocin in her brain than any sweet words ever could. She feels it. You're solid. You're rare. Why does this happen? Because emotions are fragile and vulnerability carries risk, especially in attraction. So instead of confessing feelings directly, the human mind uses ancient defense mechanisms. Testing isn't manipulation. It's biology seeking safety. Jealousy creates pressure. Your reaction defines everything. The man who stays centered, who doesn't seek validation or react emotionally, radiates strength from within. And that's what she truly craves, not your reaction, your restraint. Look around. You'll see it everywhere. The barista who casually mentions her boyfriend right after you flirt. It's not rejection, it's calibration. The coworker who suddenly teases, "You've been talking to me a lot lately," when she used to barely notice you. Not a wall, but a detour. A test to see if you can stay the course, unshaken, grounded, and sure of yourself. Stoic of a whisper. You don't play the game. You don't explain. You don't defend. You simply observe. You nod. You smile. Because true power doesn't demand attention. It commands it through stillness. It doesn't shout. It breathes, calm, steady, aware. The Stoic man understands this. In silence, value is revealed. In composure, confidence is declared. That's how you move from chasing to being chosen, not by proving yourself, but by staying centered when tested. When you refuse the bait, you show her what few men can: calm under pressure, stability in chaos, and strength that doesn't need validation. That's what makes you unforgettable. Not because you did more, but because you reacted less. And in that stillness, she finds her answer. What looked like distance was never rejection. It was a test. What felt like confusion was really curiosity asking, "Can I trust him with my heart?" The rare man doesn't chase clarity. He embodies it. He doesn't rush to fix the silence. He owns it. Because in that quiet, she feels safe. She feels drawn. She feels something rare. Respect. So tell me, have you ever mistaken a test for rejection? Comment the word "still" if you're ready to stay grounded next time. And if this message spoke to you, tap like. It means you're walking the Stoic path. Subscribe to Stoic Spirit for more insights on masculine presence, emotional strength, and the psychology of attraction. Conclusion. Before we part, reflect on this. What you've learned isn't a trick. It's truth. The kind of truth most men never hear, not because it's hidden, but because they never learned how to see. Attraction isn't magic. It's pattern, it's psychology, it's centuries of evolution playing out in real time. Now you see it. You've taken a step 95% of men never take. To read between the lines, to notice the unsaid, to understand that silence speaks louder than words. If this opened your eyes, share it with a man who still thinks she's just not interested. Maybe it's your brother. Maybe your closest friend, someone who deserves clarity over comfort. And if this grounded something in you, tap, like, and subscribe for deeper lessons in masculine calm and silent power. Because the strongest signals are never shouted. They're whispered through glances, pauses, and quiet tests. Most will miss them, but not you. Because now you see with Stoic eyes.